So now let's actually have a look at some new features for automated deployment on Azure. So, well, the deployment APIs provide ability for the build server or deployment server to deploy the released codes into Azure roles. And well, these APIs could also be used on scenarios where you might need an additional role or additional capacity for a certain period of time. Let's, for example, think that we have a scenario where you get a huge load of transaction which has to be processed every night. So therefore, you would need additional capacity for processing at night. So you can actually you can use these APIs to kickstart X number of instances of your application, and once when the job is done, you can actually shut them down or you can delete it. So in this case, what we will talk about, we will be seeing how an integrated build server or an environment would work. So for our case, a developer builds a code, he sends a code into the build server builds a configuration file and a package file, and the package file is then uploaded onto the cloud using the management APIs for Azure Web. The management APIs for Azure Web are exposed REST APIs, so they are pretty much very simple to use. So now let's actually have a look at a quick demonstration. I know you're really saying first time, but yes, it's probably very quick. And now let's have a look into a very sample code, how we have done it. So in this particular example, I would be attempting to upload an application and start that application on Azure Web Role. And all I have to do is create a URI and create an XML. Well, that's all we need. And to test the concept, what I've done is I've created an unit test, and you can see all I do is create the management credentials, service name and subscription ID. I'm giving my deployment name to be test v1, and currently for this purpose of this demo, what I've done is I've already created and uploaded my service packet into cloud, and actually I'm accessing my package from my blob store. So which you can see that the APIs could effectively take the content from any URI and can work your location and can actually retrieve your service package. So let's see the code in working. Let's do start and do deploy, spending, in progress, and sparse. Well, it tells me that it's sparse, so it means my deployment actually should have started. So let's verify through our management portal. So going back into my management portal, hosted services, if you go into my subscriptions, voila, here we see test v1, and that's what it is saying. It's creating the package. So the whole process has already started. So it will take another minute or so to fully start the instance and make the role available for use. So with this demo, we saw how package could be easily deployed using managed APIs and through codes. Now with this demo, this brings me to the end of the demo sessions where we saw how the broadcaster, Contoso in this case, took advantages of Azure platform in providing a scalable collaborative system for the approval process. Well, thanks for listening, and please feel free to contact us for any queries. And now I'm handing it over to Jeremy.
Thanks, Rahul. So I'm just going to wrap up for you very quickly. In terms of what you've seen today, we've given you an overview of cloud computing and where Microsoft's online services platform fits. The Azure capability is a part of that. That offers you a platform that you can build on agile development, compute horsepower on demand in a way that is infinitely scalable and elastic, and that kind of meets the challenges of creating innovation in business in a manner that gets maximum utility out of the investment that you make. What I wanted to just very quickly finish with was a little bit of the experience that we've had, taking some of the projects that we've done. E-commerce and travel, we're using Windows Azure as a platform to help one of our customers extend the capability of their existing e-commerce platform by just making some changes and extending the capabilities of an existing website so that it offers alternatives and nearest neighbor kind of matches for people searching for holidays. That's one example. In another instance, we're working with one of our managed services clients looking at an application that they want to migrate to the cloud, where, and this is something that we see more and more of and that we expect to be an important part of how the market looks to cloud computing going forward. It's the opportunity to migrate existing assets to the cloud, and I think this is an important point. The applications that you've built using .NET, using a variety of applications, can be migrated to the cloud to reduce cost and to extend the reach of those applications. That's exactly the story that Rahul has been sharing with you today. So that's something that we're actively doing amongst our customers right now. Another example, application migration, in this case with a software house, an organization that had their IP, had the capability to deliver, in this case, a forecasting and planning capability on-premise, and what they wanted to do was to reach more of the market by migrating that to the cloud, and that was something that we helped them do. So that's just a quick insight into some of the technology and some of the project experience that we have in this field. In terms of pricing, Microsoft publishes pricing on its website, so if you go to Microsoft and look for Azure pricing, then you'll get that very readily. We can make this sort of information available to you. But essentially, the way that this translates into costs for you is a function of the way that you configure the Azure platform to deliver what you need. So it is down to that platform configuration around the type of processor that you need, which I mentioned at the top of this webinar, the amount of storage, the data transfer, if you're using a SQL database in the cloud, the size and the number of those databases that you need, and then the way in which you use the app fabric to manage transactions and connections back to your on-premise assets and out through to your extended community and sort of stakeholders in a particular application, again, as Rahul has been illustrating to you. We have an Azure, we've collated all of that information. We have that information in a cost calculator which we can make available to you. So what do you do next? Well, we have a dedicated website which we would encourage you to visit and to bookmark and to keep up to date with, which is imgroup-online.com. There's dedicated content there for the entire Microsoft Online Services platform, including Azure. We will also be following up with each of you as get your feedback on the event today, to answer any questions that are arising either now or in the coming days, and to see how Azure could deliver value to you. There is an introductory offer for Azure from Microsoft. There's a link. We'll be making available copies of these slides, so you don't have to sit there busily writing this down. We'll send you this link, and that is one of the least cost ways of getting into this opportunity to explore and investigate the capabilities of Azure and to see if it's right for you. Think about pilot projects. Think about your opportunity to take advantage of this new world of work where agile development is available to you in a new and much more cost-effective way. We provide services around all of that. That's part of the ongoing opportunity. So working with somebody like Rahul to help you look at a pilot project, to help you build your first applications in the cloud, that's kind of the logical next part of the conversation after today. So it only remains for me to say thank you once again for your time and your attention this afternoon.